People are sick of being treated like a number or not being seen for the uniqueness and wonderfulness that they are. We all have different needs. And that's why we forged together. We said, or there's programs that are just so outrageously priced that people are still saying, I just need help. And so we decided we wanted to come together and put this program together that is personalized health and affordable with different tiers. Welcome to the Everyday Epigenetics Raw, Real, Relatable podcast. I'm your host, Susan Robbins, epigenetic human performance coach. This is where we discuss all things lifestyle, environment, food, exercise, work, mind, and social interaction as they pertain to epigenetic expression in a way that's relatable to everyone. So if you're ready to start viewing you as an individual, take control of your life and health, and get results, buckle up, here we go. Welcome to the Everyday Epigenetics Raw, Real, Relatable podcast. I'm your host, Susan Robbins, and this is the place where we talk about everything lifestyle and environment and how it relates to our genetic expression. So I am so excited for today's podcast. There's so many different things that are going to this, but I have a returning guest. She did a two-part with us, I think it was a couple months ago now, on mold. And it is Christina Cadden. She's a board-certified family nurse practitioner. Christina is actually a very good friend of mine and a colleague. We have been working together. And she is a specialist in functional medicine, mold, hormones, thyroid, gut, Lyme. And then she also has specialty cancer testing through a company called RGCC. And Christina and I, over the past, good Lord, what's it been? A year, more than a year, probably a year and a half. We've been working together about now. And we would just talk on things of what we're seeing in our practices and everything. And because I'm all lifestyle and she's medical. And this is the one piece that I can't do. I stay in my lane, people. I'll read labs, but I don't diagnose, treat, or cure. That's her job, right? So I'd be messaging her with asking some advice, and she's worked with me. She gets the PH 360. We both love what each other does. And it's a really beautiful marriage of the two when we work together. And so we got to chatting and we decided, why the hell don't we do something together? And when we actually talked for the first time, when we started working together about a year and a half ago, and we were talking about the PH 360 program, she goes, oh, we're so going to work together at some point. So it's taken us a while, but here we are. So we have some really cool things we're going to talk about today that we're going to be putting out there that I think you guys are going to absolutely love. And it's going to bring you more information and help, which is why she and I came together. And so first, let me welcome her before we start off into this, because I'm all excited. And you know me, I'll go off on my Robin Williams tangent and talk about everything. So first of all, hello, my good friend, Christina Cadden. She's the vanilla to my chocolate hair.
Hello. I know. It's makeup. It's a makeupless Monday.
It is. I get these clogged oil glands and you can't wear any makeup, any eye makeup or anything. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. Back to the no makeup thing. So she said, I don't either. So again, it's perfect. We're au natural.
Well, in all fairness, remember, I was at the FBI office getting fingerprinted. Not because I'm a criminal, but
there's exciting stuff coming up that we're going to talk about. Why she was at that FBI office. So we didn't have any of this planned, so we're just rolling with it because that's how I roll. That's why it's raw and real, but we're going to make it relatable here. So first announcement is the second Monday of every month, starting next Monday, is going to be Christina and Susan Day. And because we have forged together and created a business that's going to be, how do we say this? It's going to be the functional medicine and everything I do that's epigenetic based. So what we have seen is, again, and I've been saying this more and more, I keep hearing personalized health. It's the future. It's not the future. It's here. And people are sick of being treated like a number or not being seen for the uniqueness and wonderfulness that they are. We all have different needs. And that's why we forged together. We said, or there's programs that are just so outrageously priced that people are still saying, I just need help. And so we decided we wanted to come together and put this program together that is personalized health and affordable with different tiers. And so to be able to answer questions, because everybody's going to have questions, we decided that we're going to be doing these podcasts the second Monday every month, where we want you guys to send us questions. Anything medical related is going to go to the blonde, and anything lifestyle related is going to the brown haired one. Although some will argue that it's black. Whatever. The box is like darkest brown. So, but anyway, and it's really not a box. So it's a natural, but it's a box. All my secrets are coming out here. But we want to answer questions. So hit us up. If you have anything DNA related you want to know, anything about the PH360 you hear about, anything medical. And again, think about some of the things where she specializes: mold, thyroid, hormones, gut, Lyme, cancer testing. Hit us up. We will answer those for you. If you want us to say your name, put it in there in the question, so you get a heads up that it's you. But we're going to talk about that, and we're going to be talking about just different things we're seeing and potentially different topics. And so I think it's going to be a super informative second Monday of the month podcast with the two of us. And of course, it's going to be fun. That's the first thing coming. And then the second is the launch of the program, which we're looking at. We're still working out some of the bugs and getting our website put together and everything. And it's going to be about 4 to 6 weeks. That's what we're looking at. But again, it's affordable, personalized health. And there'll be different
eventually to all 50 states, which I'm slowly
That was the next thing I was coming to. This is why she's at the FBI office, people, not because it's anything illegal. But
however, I did tell the lady this morning at the FBI office, I said, you better get ready to see me quite a bit, because I'm going to be coming back and forth.
Now, to explain what you're doing, because this is super exciting, I would tell you, tell them where you're licensed, because you have to have a license for each individual state to practice. Yeah. And which are the ones that you currently have?
I currently have Texas, Colorado, and North Carolina. I'm working on Maine, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Arizona right now.
Oh.
But each state requires fingerprints. And I had this conversation with the lady today, because it's like, I said, ma'am, so we started talking about what I do for a living. And I was like, I'm going to have 50 licenses. She's, then I guess you're going to be seeing me quite a bit, huh? And
oh my God.
I said,
wow.
Is there not like a database? Like, this is the Federal Bureau of Investigation, right? Like, this is the FBI. Like, why do we not have like one database? I don't have to come back here every time and have to pay every single time I go there. And she was like, they just don't. Unfortunately, each state I have to send individual print cards to that state of my fingerprints. I was like, it's okay. Yeah, it's crazy. The blood of my firstborn and secondborn, my hair, it's okay. It's fine. No big deal.
But that's exciting, because she is working on all 50 states. And at some point, we'll be able to do that in all 50 states. Now, you can work individually up until that point. You can always work with me too.
And I can consult, like if you have a doctor that wants to, if you're not in one of those states that I'm licensed and you have a doctor who's willing to write, I can give recommendations, but I can't prescribe anything. It's just that, a recommendation. Like, this is what I would do, but you're going to have a doctor that would actually do it for you at the end of the day. And sometimes that I find is hard, especially in some of my states that are way up north, I find, from what I hear.
I think Northeasterners are difficult to deal with anyway, right? Me being one. I did, because I can. To start how we are. But I think it's just so exciting how this has been rolling along, because I have clients here in Colorado. This is where I live. And I've been I was on Christina going, do you yet? Do you have Colorado yet? And finally she's, I have Colorado. And so I have several of my clients that have gone over to work with her. You all have watched my podcasts with the amazing Eric Zotter and his transformation. He's at 70 pounds now and just transforming his whole life into beast mode. And Christina has been his nurse practitioner as well, dealing with a lot of that. And like I said, we just came together seeing I want you to talk a bit on what got you to partner up with me, like the things that you're seeing, because you're coming from it from a different side. And again, I want to make it clear to people how we're very different. A coach is not to diagnose, treat, or cure any illness or disease. That's out of the coach realm. Now, can I look at labs? Sure. But I can't diagnose off them. I can't do medications. None of that. I am lifestyle related. That's what I do with the PH360, dial people in, the DNA. I don't want to be a practitioner. And I have been missing that piece of having a practitioner. That's my partner next to me going, how do we work with this person? Because that's the big part of it. And I'm not coming out of my scope to do that. I know there's some coaches that do, and it's just not me. And she's great at what she does. And that's why when she was interested in partnering up, I thought it was just perfect, because she respects what I do too. We're going to work together to optimize people, but stay in our own lanes. Coming together.
Well, and I had somebody reach out to me the other day and they were like, oh, I heard it. Oh, it was somebody you referred to me, like just to my company. And she was like, I heard you're a PH360 coach. I was the first one to be like, no, I'm not. Let me make this very clear. I am a nurse practitioner. Now, with that being said, I do talk a lot to my patients about stress, diet, lifestyle, exercise. And that is just something that even my collaborating doctor, he does with his patients. And when me and him work together, when I saw him doing that, I was like, oh, I really like that. And so that's how we got on the subject of stress and diet and lifestyle. But I am more the labs and the numbers kind of person, and the why and the science. And right, like I do look at thyroid and hormones, but we were actually just talking about this, me and Susan. Like I'll also look a lot at cholesterol, the HSCRP markers, your inflammation markers, your ANA, your SED rates. It's not just one thing for me because it's the body as a whole. And then I always say stress is like the center of that, and it can cause so much inflammation among patients and wreak havoc. Sleep can play into this. So we talk a lot about sleep. Yeah. But PH360 is not, I do it. I love it. I 100% agree with the program along with the DNA. But at the same time, I stay in my lane. Right now, I will say that sometimes patients will be like, I don't metabolize that. So a lot of times we do test runs of things. Let's try this and see how you're going to do. Because just because it shows something doesn't mean it's always coming out that way.
That's where the human aspect of it comes in.
But yeah, so that's kind of like, and that's looking at the body as a whole. And then here's what I always tell my patients is we can deep dive as far as you want to go. If you want to add on mold, if you want to add on Lyme, if you want to add on specialty cancer testing, there's things that we can go into that I do that are extra that just can make you more longevity wise.
Yeah.
Optimal, make you more optimal is what I'm looking for. And so I think that's where I'm very big on, we don't treat without a test to back it up. And so me and Susan were just talking about this too, right? Like I was doing a class this morning by the FDN Institute, and she says what I say all the time. Like when people talk about cortisol and stress, like I won't treat unless I have a test to prove you're either high or low, right? Because I'm not going to tell you, oh, go take this and not know, and then you be low and I make you lower, right? Or if your cortisol is high and then I give you some bovine supplement and make you high, right? That's not good practice, right? So I'm not going to treat until I test, right? And so I think that is my path and my background to it. But there is a time and a place for Western medicine. I come from a Western medicine background, of course, I'm family, right? I've did Western medicine for years. So I'm not against it. But you got to think 90% of the people I work with, they are very holistic based and they want that more of that functional, holistic like option. And so I always tell people when I meet them, you get two options, right? I'm going to give you a natural where you don't have to take a med, or maybe here's a med, whether it's a hormone or a thyroid or something. So we go down that road. I have some patients that are diabetics. I'm going to give you 3 months if you don't want to try metformin or some other diabetic med. But after those 3 months, if you haven't made significant changes, we have to start looking at other things.
Other
At the
things. Yeah.
end of the day, you're either going to change or you're not, right? But what's crazy is me and you have, Susan, have seen amazing changes among people. Amazing.
Huge. Not
Yeah.
just Eric, but
Right.
others as well. That was when you contacted me, the first thing you had said, this was way back. We hadn't met. We just had same people. And you said, I don't know what you're doing to change liver enzymes, but I need to work with you. What the hell? And
I did.
this is what we're seeing. And it was one of my, I think it was one of my diplomats or one of my guardians that we totally dropped everything in a short period of time. And the beauty of us working together, and I've said this from the beginning, is you have to start with lifestyle, because you can sit and prescribe, whether it's supplements or meds or anything like that, and test away. But if that lifestyle is out of control, which it is for the majority of people, people that say, I'm eating clean, but are you for you?
Yeah.
Where really are we on things? And to start with lifestyle, which is the way it's going to be, that people will actually start with the coach. And like I said, we've been putting this together for quite a while. And this is really what's going to make a big difference, because it's easier to deal with the medical side of it when someone is doing the right things at the right time than is all over the place and stressed, which we know plays a key component as well. But yeah, the people we've worked with are just seeing.
And I think the other thing too is, again, I go back to working with my collaborating doctor because he's amazing, is even he and I both agree, like, we would get these patients in clinic that are on like 50 supplements and are supposed to be doing this keto or carnivore diet or whatever weird diet somebody put them on. And at the end of the day, we find that they're not happy and they're not taking half the 50 supplements they pay. And I'm not joking. Like when I say 50, I'm the one that has that stuff in.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So 50 supplements. And we come, like me and him have the same agreement on this too. Like it's a lifestyle, right? We're not going to do a diet. We need you to do something that we know you can sustain for life. But at the same time, we also want to optimize you in vitamins, but nobody needs 50 vitamins, right?
No.
Let's get you with, and I tell my patients this now, let's start you out. I'm going to start you out this many, right? And these are our heavy hitters. These are the ones you absolutely need. But eventually my goal is to where you only take it a couple times a week or maybe once a week, and you continuously stay optimal. And we're not paying thousands of dollars and taking 30 or 50 vitamins. And I've been there. I've been that person who a functional practitioner, I had like 30 vitamins. I did it for a month. And I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm out.
That's like a job in itself.
Yeah.
To get all that lined up. And I'm of the same light. When I do DNA on someone, I want to get them on the things that they absolutely do need. Say they have MTHFR issues. If you're the MTHFR, if you're 677T, if you're an AA there, like 25% activity, you better be having some support there. You may not even do well with the methylated. So again, it's looking at the person. Where a lot of DNA reports, and I'm going to be coming out with a DNA podcast here very shortly, people. Why they're not all created equally. But you'll see these just pure genetics where people get the report and it'll just say, these are the supplements you need to take. But do they need them? What's actually expressing? This is where we're going to be different. Meeting with people to go over things. If they're doing the DNA, let's go through it and get you on the things you really need with the things you don't. And this is where I've even, in the past, as we've worked together, gotten a hold of Christina and said, hey, I see this person does not metabolize estrogen metabolites well at all. What do you think about DIM calcium D-glucarate? She's like, hey, it's a go for it. Like, we collaborate, and that's the beauty of it. It's about collaboration. There's no animosity. Like, you're taking my job. It's like a patient or a client is going to get better results when people work together. to bring that together.
It's a team. And even I work with a collaborating doctor in the states that I have to collaborate with, and he even tells his patients, I'm not a hormone expert. I don't do thyroid. And he goes, but I know somebody that does do them. But even when we were in clinic together, he always flipped that. This is where you're going to get that from, and I'm here for this. But together we work as a team, and I think that's really good. Knowing like the fact that me and you we have conversations all the time, right? All the time.
All the time.
It's actually good. It's hilarious, but
it is. I don't know how many times you send me the skull and broken bones after you hear my
I know. My dead. I'm so dead. I'm like dying laughing. Yeah. Like today when I can't get my computer to freaking work, my husband's on a conference call and I'm like sending him, Susan, I'm sending him screenshots of all these pop-ups on my damn computer. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be on a podcast in 5 minutes.
Don't even ask why. And I said, if you knew how technically inept I am, I won't ask why because I won't understand it anyway. I'm just like, something goes down. I text Kelly, get on my computer because I don't know what's going on. So I'm the same way. It was just funny. And yet here we are. We made it.
Here we are. We made it. Yeah. But I think it's a great fit. Like me and you, we work well together. We communicate often, right? Like it's not, oh, I'm going to see just her, or I'm only going to see her. Like the way we packaged it is going to be a great package. Like you're getting consistent, like meetings with me. You're getting consistent meetings with Susan. Shoot, at one point they see both of us, right? At the very beginning. Hey.
I mean, you're sick of us. If they're not feeling good by then, right? Yeah. I think as we put these together, we were really looking at what's best for the patients, what's best for the client. I know that I want to see people every couple of weeks, especially in the beginning. It's when you're not feeling great, you're not optimal, to have that contact from the start, whether it's hand holding or not, whatever you want to say. And there's going to be some health types need more, some need less. That's fine. But it's all client centered. Even what we have put together can be worked with. It's really what someone needs. But the main thing with us is we just saw that there's such a need for personalized health and at prices that are affordable because we want to help people. This is our biggest thing. We want to help as many people as we can help feel great. Because if you don't feel great, you're not fully living life. And anybody that listens to me on here, and I was just talking to my guy about this earlier, I'm like, if I'm all about taking action to live a better life. And if we're not living life, what are we here for? We're just existing. And that's not living. Let's get busy living or get busy dying. We're all dying already. So
we all know want to live to be 90.
But we want to do it not in a walker with oxygen where you're stuck watching Wheel of Freaking Fortune every night.
Right.
I want to be out of my cross-country skis at 90. Okay, might not be blazing on the trail anymore, but hey, you never know. But I want to be there and I want to be in control knowing that it's because of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And you and I have both had our issues, our own health issues and things we still deal with. And we confer with each other on those type of things. But it's just shown us just how precious life is and how we want to grab it by the balls and want our people to be able to do that too and not just getting through a day.
But it's mixing all of it together. It's the pH 360 and the DNA and the actual using that with the lab work. And it's all of it together that makes it different for people. And I can say that because I am a person who works with other people, right? Like I work with a collaborating doctor and I work with other people. And so I can say that this is very different than what I do, whether it's with one of the other 3 providers that I work with, because I work with 3 other providers on the outside, which makes my job fun because I'm always doing something different depending on who I'm working for that day or what patient I may be seeing for what provider that day.
But as a diplomat, your purpose is fed 100%.
Oh, 100%. You know, what's funny is I just had this conversation yesterday with a girls group that I go to. I was like, I feel like I was that like my goal and my duty on this earth is to be who I am as a nurse practitioner and a nurse. Like I was a nurse for 15 years, right? Critical care. I feel like I am serving out my purpose, and I hope I can serve that purpose for a long time.
Sure. We just want to do it in the right way.
Right.
And help as many people as we can.
Yeah.
And that's where we just came together.
The other good thing is we'll be able to show on here. So just telling Susan, we have our own real results, right? Like we talked about mycotoxins, and in April, I'm redoing my test. So we'll be able to come on here and be like, okay, look, here's our first test. Here's our second. We can go through these and talk about these and things we see. And I think that helps too.
And we guinea pig on each other too. I just told her, I've had inflammation and I've had this back thing going it's too long, and it affects my sleep, and that creates inflammation and all. And I have other suspect of things. And so I'm like, what do you think about this? What would be my protocol doing this? And then I have new DNA panels that I want to do on her. And so all of this stuff, we just love to collaborate on and work together with so that we can bring it to everybody else. We guinea pig on each other, which is, I think we're just going to get more into that too, which is going to be a blast, I think. But yeah, and I so much, because you mentioned the thyroid and the hormones, and we hear that marketed to women. Are you gaining weight? You're not healthy. Are you feeling depressed? Filling your cup. But as we talked about, like working with Eric, and we have another male that we're both working with, and I've had so many husbands come on board lately. And I have another new client that came on who heard Eric's podcast, and I'm Eric. I need to work with you, right? And I onboarded him last week on the PH360. He was so fun. And
Eric is I will say he's one of my favorites. He is so, I just remember him being like, okay, I'm about to talk about some things. And I finally was like, Eric, I did male urology for 10 years. And I worked in the OR I worked multiple different departments because it's critical care, so I floated around a lot. But I was like, there's nothing anybody can say that I haven't seen, heard, done, had to do things. Yeah.
No, that's why they're going to love working with us too. Because I was a cop. You think I hadn't seen and heard anything? And then doing this job, if you don't talk about poop once a day, there's something wrong.
Right? I actually we were just talking about poop. Were we not?
Libido, how's your sex life? People look at you like, what? No, this is very real because it plays a part in your life.
Which is funny because I find the guys are a lot harder. Like at first they're hesitant to talk to me about their libido, but then the more they get used to me, like they're very open. And so I'll kind of tell them my background. Look, let me just go ahead and tell you what I did for a living. And my husband knew. He knew what I did for a living.
Yeah. I think men, and this is the big thing. I love, love, love working with men. So many are crusaders and they're like, just tell me what. I just need to know what to do. Makes sense. I've set the goals and they're on it. But men are like the forgotten, other than testosterone. Like these big groups out there that just market about, hey, men, how about your testosterone? Here's a pill to take, or here's where you can get a cheap injection or whatever. But you see the dad bod out there, and the dad bod, we poke fun. It's fun and all. Women, I love the dad bod, but it's generally not healthy.
Right.
When you see the visceral fat around the abdomen. But men, again, I think it's that they feel they want the help, but is it manly to ask for help? Are they going to be looked down upon? Are they going to be talked down upon or told what to do? Because a lot of times the women in their lives, and I've been accused of it, you should be doing this. It's a nag. But they want the information. They want to understand what they need to be doing.
And I will say this, because I just had a man this week, actually, that you referred to me. And then I've had several in the past too. And my big thing with men is I get that's what your wife wants 100%. But with any patient, here are some options. Now tell me which way you want to go. And I can tell you the best ways and then some ways that we can practice when they say, hey, if this doesn't work, I will gladly switch it to this. But you can try this if you really want to. And so at the end of the day, their wife may want it, but I've always said this, it has to be the patient. At the end of the day, the patient has to want it. And they're going to be more
100%.
successful when they want it. And it's what they want to do. This is their body. Like my husband, he did testosterone gel and hated that crap. He said it was all sticky. And then he got switched over to injectable. And for a minute, he was like, I just don't know if I like this. I was like, then let's switch it back to cream. Like I wasn't his prescriber, but I know his prescriber. And he was like, no, let's stay with it. And I was like, okay, well, you need to do what's going to be best for you at the end of the day. But it's different for me because I'm medical. So I know that. But I do talk to a lot of these men, and it's my wife or my girlfriend wants this. Okay, but what do you want as the patient and the human being? This is your life.
I think getting to their why.
Yeah.
And I went through someone's why with them the other day, and I just keep going and going till we get to the actual why, because it's never just about weight loss or sex with the partner again, or just feeling better.
Right.
What is it really? Why are you here? Why do you want to work with us? And I had one say, I have been through, and this was actually a female. She said, I've been to so many different things trying to get my life in order, my weight in order. She said, no one has ever taken me to my real why. I'm like, that's why I'm here. Right. But I think when people really get to that and feel it like to their core, that this is why they want to do this, it may start off the spouse saying something like, because typically it's because we care. We want you around for it. But when that other person, when you get to those really core reasons, but for a man, building that trust and feeling that they have a safe space to be who they are.
Right.
And when they're doing the PH 360 and they're like, oh my God, now I get why I'm like this. This is why I overthink everything. This is why I'm so incredibly goal driven and have the blinders on. Or this is why my main thing is I want to provide for my family. And it's crushing
sometimes
peanuts, right? Like
it's
all
also
different.
Talking through it with somebody that is not in their circle.
God.
And I've had this conversation with certain people where, like even say sleep, they were like, I'm not sleeping. Can we hop on a quick call? And I'm always like, sure. I'm never going to tell you. And a lot of it, just walking through it, it was like, okay, like I go down, okay, tell me what has gone on and what has changed since the last time you saw me. And then we can work through that. And sometimes they just need someone who's not in their circle, but we're on their team, right? We're still
that's a big
part
difference.
of their team. And we want them to succeed. And I want all my patients to succeed. Now, that doesn't come without setbacks, because people have reactions to things, or they don't have success with things, right? Maybe estrogen makes them bloat, or maybe they can't tolerate this medication. But we still we're on their team. And at the end of the day, we want them to get to their 100% optimal and to have their purpose served.
I love that. And that totally resonated, because we work with them like they have access to us. That people used to think I was crazy. Why do you give your cell phone to all your clients? I've never had anybody abuse it. And I've been there where they are, where you feel like just so alone and you just want some answers, and something might pop up or something happens, just to be able to reach out and have that team player on to reach out and say,
I don't actually give my cell phone out.
You don't give yours? Is that what you said? You don't?
Heck no.
I do. I will.
But you do. You go right ahead. But I will tell you, they do have access to me, because they have
access. Yeah.
Right. They have 4 different ways they can get a hold of me, and I do hop on calls. Unfortunately for me, because I'm a provider that prescribes, I've had that power abused.
Oh,
and
sure.
So I
that
stopped
totally makes sense.
Probably a couple months ago. If it's private clients and stuff like that, I still don't. I keep it very like, here's how you contact me. But I'm always I'm always answering those, even on the weekends.
Oh yeah. Yep. Same here. I've had them come in. I had one in Australia, and it was really funny. I was getting into bed. It was like 10:30. And I said, I'll answer you in the morning. And she said, oh my God, I totally forgot that the total time zone difference. She said, I'm so sorry. And I said, no worries. I just can't think right now because I got to get lights out. Help it. But and that was just a funny thing, but I've never had anybody abuse it. And again, I'm all lifestyle. I've talked people off of an Oreo ledge from the top of a mountain. I'm like, I'm fine. And then there's other times when I totally disconnect and they get it. Like they want us to succeed too. And they know we're human, and times we need to back off too. So I'll say, I'm going to be out of pocket. But again, I think it's just that personal level that we're going to offer. There's always somebody that they can reach within within our group. And I've got a couple of DNA coaches coming on. I'm going to have a pH person actually going through this next pH course in February, ready to rock and roll. It's just people are excited about this. So I want to work with you. Work with us as part of our team too. It makes me feel really good because they all started as clients and now they want to be a part of this. And I just,
that's cool.
I just love that what we do makes people want to be part of it. And having been through the things that we've been doing with us, it's going to help them be amazing coaches because again, they get it. They get it. They've been there. They've done that. They've used the pH 360. They've had DNA done. And so they know just how important this is in the realm of personalized health. And I think it's just going to be an awesome thing that we're putting together. But men, you are not forgotten and we welcome you and you have a very safe space. So when we drop the webinar, tune in because it's not going to be just based around women. It's anybody that we can help. And that's how we're rolling with it, for lack of a better word, because I'm tired today. I ate too much meat last night. I couldn't sleep. Oh, God. Said no activator ever except me.
That is hilarious.
Jeez Louise. So I would say look for our podcast, look for the launch. And again, you'll pay attention to social media. I'll probably put it on a podcast that, hey, take a look. We're going to be doing the webinar just to introduce you to the program, what we've got put together. We think you're going to love it. And if you know somebody that we could help, pass it along to them as well. And one thing that we, again, with the questions for the podcast, I'd say send them to, you can go to my email, susan@healthyawakening.co. And again, this is all going to be in the show notes. Christina, what's your email where they could send you questions that we could talk about on air if you wanted them directly there?
Yeah, they can send them to Christina at watchfulwellnessplc.com. And watchful is WATCHFUL, and then wellness has 2 L's.
Awesome. And mine, don't forget, is not .com, it's .co. At the end. So email us questions. You can also put them in my Facebook. You can put them on our Instagram. And again, all that information is going to be in the show notes as well. And we have my wonderful, I could not survive without this woman, Liz Jakimowicz is my podcast manager, my VA. She is just fantastic. And so she's working on our amazing website that we're going to have. And so we'll have that up and running at some point, and we'll announce that, and you'll be able to reach us through there as well. So just really good stuff coming. And we don't want to keep it in. We wanted to let you guys know what's in the works here and that it's going to be happening here pretty shortly, and we'll be ready. And we'll keep you posted on the different states as Christina gets licensed as well. Anything else you want to add, my blonde friend?
You got it. I think you covered it.
All right. Look for us. The second Monday in March will be our next one. And again, shoot us some questions. You have somebody here that's an expert in lots of areas. Like we said, I'm going to repeat them again. Functional medicine, mold, hormones, thyroid, gut, Lyme, specialty cancer testing through RGCC, and just basic medical info. She's a wealth of info there. I am anything lifestyle, DNA, name it, bring it. We look forward to answering questions, and we'll just keep bringing you some great info, different topics, and what we're seeing out there. So it's a pleasure to see you, because I don't get to see you often, even though I know. So it's always a joy seeing your smile. And thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me, and just being an awesome partner to do this with.
I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
It is. Absolutely. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Share this with someone who this could help. Please, let's get the word out there that personalized health is here. We've got it. And then get out there, be your most authentic self, and make it a great day. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for tuning into my podcast. If you enjoyed this week's episode, I'd love for you to share it with someone who'd find the information useful. Please leave a review anywhere you listen to podcasts, and it'll help the information get out to others. If you're interested in seeing if we're a great fit to work together, the link is in the show notes below where you can sign up for a free consultation with me. So go make it a great day and let your authentic self shine.